Winter Superdrop 2024. Jake.
It's 2025.
Oh, it's 2025. Okay, well, there you go. I've already screwed up the intro. Here we are to try and review the Winter Superdrop 2025. And I don't even know what year it is. There's Miku involved. I know that.
We have some cool characters wearing dresses. We have Deflecting SWAT getting a reprint. And you're here to find out, is it worth it? Let's get into the vid. Highest level of gratitude to our patrons who power the channel through Patreon. Check out the Patreon link in the description to learn about monthly giveaways, VIP Discord access, and even our official playmat. Jake and Joel Magic are brought to you by Card Conduit. That's where you go to take your unused singles and sell them into the aether. They will do all the buy listing for you and send you money. And when you get that money, you can spend it on Dragon Shield. Dragon Shield are sleeves, they are deck boxes, they're playmats, and so much more.
Nice.
You can go on over to Dragon Shield and you can spend your money there. Use our code, which you can find in the description of the video, and it will help you save even more money. And if you haven't spent all your money, take it on over to TCG Player and you can use their marketplace and you can buy as many cards as you could possibly imagine. There are so many people there that are just selling cards, and that's what they do. So go on over to TCG Player, use our affiliate link. It does nothing but help out the channel at no additional cost to you. And then finally, our beautiful sponsor Moxfield, which is where you go to show off your favorite commander decks, organize them, and share them with a friend.
People in chat going, commander decks only? There's more to Magic than commander decks.
Yeah, probably.
Jake, we've got Secret Lair Winter Superdrop 2025, and we'll start off with Secret Lair X Hatsune Miku Winter Diva. I think this is the last one of these that we're going to see. This closes us out on Hatsune Miku. With these one, you've got Giada, Youthful Valkyrie, Counterspell, Swan Song, Brago, King Eternal, and Scrying Sheets. We'll pop over to our handy-dandy spreadsheet that our mod Spectre, shout out Spectre, go sub to his channel, MTG Metrics, makes for each of these. Jake, you've got Swan Song at like $10. You've got Scrying Sheets at like $6. And there ain't any value past that besides a couple of scarcity foils. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, it's fine. There's a counter spell in there. You know, let's talk a little bit about what everybody is saying.
Yep.
Where's the Snapcaster Mage?
Yep.
Oh, the Snapcaster Mage. That should be a thing, right? Well, now we're learning that that Snapcaster Mage was probably just a secret inclusion, and that card will probably remain very expensive for the foreseeable future. I think it's fine. Everybody here is just going to be interested. I like it a lot more than the Planeswalker one.
No, yes, dude, me too. And I'll say Kellogg's Loops on the art always kills it, and that Swan Song is super sick, even if you're not like a Miku fan.
Yeah, so for me, I like what's going on in here. Swan Song, Counterspell. It's very much the blue-white package, man. If this is the kind of stuff that you're into, if you want like a new skin for Brago, I think that's pretty sweet as well.
Yep.
It's pretty cool, dude. I mean, we also know that Giada is absolutely a card, and Angels have definitely been a thing ever since that deck made its way on the market.
Like we said, scarcity foil on the Swan Song in foil, representing some value, and scarcity foil on the Scrying Sheets. Looking at the non-foil version, you got $20 worth of cards in there for a $30 layer if you're just concerned with that. But y'all know that we like IP-driven stuff, and those are pretty cool. Jake, these look really crazy to me, even more so digitally, I think, than they looked in that little video that they showed off. But we've got our Hot Wheels at Home set here.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
It's so different. It's so weird. It's honestly great. I love the aesthetic of it. I love that Smuggler's Copter. I mean, I honestly think they all look really sweet. The ability to have that depth of field or that I don't
no,
even know
yeah,
how
you're
to
right.
describe it.
It is.
Yeah,
it looks like it's coming out. Those look like two different materials. All in all, the card looks like three different materials. It looks like paper cardboard, like would be the backing. It looks like plastic, and then it looks like die-cast metal. It's kind of insane what they've achieved with the visual of these cards.
Yeah. And then if you flip them over, you can see it looks like the back of a Hot Wheels car or like a, Mattel car. Yeah, I think they're just really, really cool. It's one of the neatest departures from MTG art that I've seen.
Agreed.
We talked about that years ago with like the Party Hard Shred Harder layer, where it was like, wow, what a wild font, and oh, it looks like metal band posters. Well, look at where we are now.
Yeah.
We have Hot Wheels cars.
So we have gushed over the look of these. Let's now anti-gush over the value of these. Looking at Arcade Racers, your most expensive card is that Final Fortune. No, sorry, this is the wrong one. I highlighted the wrong one. This is Aether Drifters. Looking at singles on Aether Drifters, yeah, your most expensive one is $650 for the Mech Titan. Every single thing else, y'all, quarters is what we're looking at. You don't even have scarcity foil prices here, even with the Parhelion. So when you're looking at this one, look, Aether Drifters, $10 of value on a $40 layer. You know that you are going, it's supposed to be a $30 layer for the non-foil, by the way. That's a mistake on there. All of these are 30 and 40 non-foil foil. You know that you're not getting value. You're getting these for the look for sure, because it's such a huge departure. Jake, another huge departure we've got here is the Arcade Racers. This is a set. It's so crazy how much I've loved some of the aesthetic of these, but I have little to no interest in the actual cards. Big Score is played. Final Fortune can be played. Heat Shimmer's pretty niche. Rolling Vortex, pretty niche. And then Wheel of Misfortune, I don't even know if people really play this card. But visually,
they do.
These
Shout
look
out
sick.
to Travis. Travis totally plays it.
Oh, nice.
Wheel of Misfortune is a fine card. I'm not super high on it. It's okay. Roiling Vortex kind of popped off when we got Lord of Pain, which came out in Duskmorn.
Yeah.
So this is the layer for the red player. Final Fortune, Heat Shimmer's a Natali card. You know, Big Score. I think Big Score is a really good draw spell. I like it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an upgraded, like...
Of these five, that one's got the
possibility.
most generic playability in Commander. That card, just from the nature of it being, it can fit into any of the decks with this color identity pretty well. Do what you need it to do. It's going to have a higher played percentage on EDH for sure.
Sure, and then also Final Fortune being a big extra turns card, but as you can see, it has a very specific effect. So unless you're in that exact deck, you don't really want that card. But for the red player that's kind of like all over the place with their deck building, this might be a good pickup for you.
Maybe has multiple decks where all five of these are power players and not just some niche thing. We'll look at Arcade Racers, $20 of value on a $30 layer. When you're looking at our individual cards here, we saw Final Fortune about $9. Insane scarcity foil price on Final Fortune.
Yeah.
But y'all, when we say that, we mean that the foil that's currently available or is insanely expensive, right? Or there's no foil available. So it's like the first foiling in this thing. And so you're going to have an insane value out of the gate for these. But those will come down. I think they look cool though.
I do like the art. I do think they look amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really love when they really push in here. Then Jake, we've got City Styles 2. This is the sequel to a secret layer that has quadrupled in price, more than quadrupled in price. City Styles 1. The big headliner there is that you can get the Teysa. There's some other playable cards in there for sure. But in my opinion, these 5 cards are more playable overall. Captain Sisay, wildly playable commander and good in many 99s. Ninja, a little bit more niche. Karmic, pretty solid wherever it's going to play. Veyron, insane card for your commander and insane in the Storm decks. And then Selvala, good for any of your creature ramping decks, any of your group hug style stuff. The deal is, though, past playability, these look awesome.
Yeah, not only do they look awesome, but we also have the price memory of the previous one.
Yes.
So we've kind of learned, and I think I passed on City Styles 1, which really sucks because it was packed full of some really good stuff.
Same.
I won't be passing on this one because there is kind of like this anime kind of multiplier. Shout out to Food Time. Food Time, our moderator, I was talking to him about this layer last night, and he was like, I just really like this one. You got some really good characters, and they're wearing dresses, and I like it, man. He goes, I want to pick it up because I like...
Except I like Cat putting on the pantsuit and the heels and being like, I'm going to kick ass with my sword in my pumps. You can't stop me.
I mean, there you go. But I think these are going to really stand out to people, and there will be probably, kind of like a bum rush of people trying to get this one, if I had to guess, just based on the previous layer, and then also what this offers as far as getting a bunch of legendary creatures that are playable as well. Really cool.
Yeah, 3 legends in this is so hot to me. Just so hot. And we should mention a lot of times when a specific artist does a secret layer, does all of the cards in a layer, the bonus card is also a card by them as well. And so it won't just be some toss away sliver or whatever is the 2025 plan for the secret inclusion cards.
Sure.
Value. City Styles 2, Dress to Kill. You got $18 of value on the Captain Cisse. That is a scarce card. Past that, you don't have any value. $7 on Varen. Scarcity foils on Selvala and Ninja of the Deep Hours, but
just ignore that.
Yeah, that's mostly just to like let you know that that exists. People might talk about it, and you should probably ignore it because it just doesn't apply so much. With the Lair overall, you're looking at nearly the value in the pack, which is pretty sick. However, if we look at like the foil, these are 30 and 40. The first ones were 30 and 40 in City Styles 1. That foil layer is like $170, $180 now. So we assume that the better playability version of this layer is also potentially going to do the same thing. Not financial advice. Jake, completely different aesthetic of art here. We've got featuring Luke Pearson. What do you think of this one? Witch
of the Moors, Realm Walker, not a ton of value here. We've already kind of gone over the value in a short that we did. Solemn Simulacrum is a playable card. Realm Walker is really good if you're in that kind of archetype. Witch of the Moors is an extremely punishing card. If you are in a life gain kind of deck, you're going to be, this is a must remove. I hate this card so much. It's extremely strong. But yeah, I mean, again, when we go over to the prices, we're going to see here that there's not a ton of value here, and it really does come down to the art. At this point, Wizards of the Coast is figuring out, we can use variants to move cards just simply by making them look hot, looking spicy, different kind of art. Can we sell stuff that is cheap but good? I'm not going to say that Solemn Simulacrum isn't a good card.
No, sure.
I'm not going to say that any of these aren't good cards. They are playable cards, and just because a card is cheap doesn't mean it isn't good. But at this point, we see what Wizards of the Coast is doing. They're using variants to sell expensive Secret Lair products to people, and it doesn't necessarily matter if they have a lot of value or not on the secondary market.
Jake, did you watch Adventure Time or Rick and Morty or any of those kind of shows at large? I feel like those for some reason
not like at large.
Yeah, same. I have seen them before, obviously, but I was just for some reason skipped by this. Maybe it was just after our generation, if you will, that these shows really gained a ton of popularity, and so for me, there's no draw. I like the art, don't get me wrong. But I don't need another Solemn Simulacrum. I got 1 billion of them, and those arts aren't pulling me in. But I will say, Jake, these arts are pulling me in.
Yeah, these are pretty sweet as well. Yeah, featuring Mitsuhiro Arita. Got Lightning Bolt, Shurikai, Murktide, and Light Paws. Murktide, we know, is a very popular modern card. You got Lightning Bolt, also a very popular iconic card, Light Paws, and Shurikai, which came out in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty as an alternate commander in the Kotori deck. So,
yeah, great commander. Lots of people look at it as a vehicles commander, but it's mostly just a really good card draw commander.
Yeah, that's true.
Murktide Regent, keeping the trend that all Magic cards have to be hot now. I don't know why we needed a hot lizard to be the flying dragon there.
It's like a strong lizard with man arms and stuff.
Look at my body, y'all. I've been working on this. Lightning Bolt coming out of a bird. Typically you bolt the bird, but this bird bolts you.
Oh, that's fun.
I dig these. Mitsuhiro Arita. I don't know if we're pronouncing that right, but you can also, I would assume, count on the fact that since there are 4 cards in this layer, that 5th one is definitely going to be another Mitsuhiro Arita treatment. You may also look at these and go, wow, what a random assortment of cards. Yeah, we have found out that a lot of times they just let the artists choose. I think there's a, within reason, and there's a list like don't choose X card, but they seem to just be able to do whatever they want. And that is why I think sometimes we end up with such a random assortment, nothing really tying these together mechanically, so to speak.
Sure.
Art looks awesome. Value, $12 on Murktide. Everything else, it's like $1 or so. It's like you said,
at this
dude.
Point, Lightning Bolt is good, but you can't reprint it 1,000 times and expect it to keep its value, right?
Right. Yeah. It's crazy. We have a couple left to look at, but just looking at this number, 30s. This is supposed to be a 30 as well. So all of these are supposed to be 30s for value. one layer in this entire drop, and it's the Jesper Ejsing one, has more value in it than actually comes with it. Jesper, I was telling you, this is the one with the value here. It's because of one card, y'all. It's deflecting SWAT. If you look at the whole layer here, you got 42 bucks on deflecting SWAT. Every other card is a quarter or less because it's Sun Titan, Llanowar Elves, and Breaches.
I was also talking with some friends last night as I was playing some games, and this is one that is kind of a bummer just because it uses the regular MTG frame. And after talking with them, I was kind of like, you know what? I'm kind of in this camp of like, when we're going to Secret Lair, I don't think we need to have cards in the regular frame. And there's going to be some people that are in the comments that are like, I like when they do the regular frame. And that's fine. Yeah. Teach their own. This to me just seems like if we are in a Secret Lair product, let's at least just extend the art. I feel like that's a very basic thing that we can do that kind of gives the cards a unique look, even when we are in the Booster Fun era where extended art cards, full art cards, we see them all the time.
Everywhere.
Well, then at minimum, let's just put them here as well.
Cool that they would reprint such a powerful spell right into a Secret Lair. I do like that. I also love the art. Don't get me wrong. Jesper kills it. This Sun Titan, I've never had anything challenge the M11 Sun Titan for dominance in any of my builds. And this one is pretty sweet, gotta say. It's getting up there. I got a challenger now because I just think it looks super tight. Plus the Llanowar Elf looks awesome, I think. So really good job on this one. But yeah, I actually hadn't thought of the fact that they were using regular frames for this. I'm with you on that. Why are you gonna
like
hire
the Llanowar Elf
artist?
as well. It's just kind of like, do we need another Llanowar Elf? Or, you know, is it like these artists who do this get to actually kind of pick and vet the cards that they get? Maybe Llanowar Elf is dear to, you know, the artist. I don't really know.
I think he said on his Instagram it was, because I do think he got to pick, because he said straight up, I picked cards that I like to play a lot and are in my commander decks already.
Okay. Well, then there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Then that's
which
fine.
Is exactly how I would do it. I would be like, I'm going to do my 3 commanders for sure.
Sure.
If I was the artist getting hired by them. Jake, we've also got the Lorwyn light boxes. This was the first one that got shown off.
Easy snap buy. This one for me is an easy pickup, even with the price of the cards being pretty low.
Yeah, explain that.
Yeah, the price of the reason I like these is because they're all kindred cards.
Yeah.
You have a elf, goblin, giant, fairy, and merfolk, and those are all very iconic. With it, save giant, you know, all the Giants fans are sitting here going, woo, oh god,
here we go.
So this for me, it's pretty sweet. I think if you are in like you know, shout out to my very first commander deck ever, Red Black Wart, you want Auntie's Hovel. If you're in like a Lathril, you want Guiltleaf Palace,
for sure,
you know, and so on. And so this for me is like a big hit. I really like what's going on here. And this one, we know that lands typically do well. I think the general unity of the motif and just kind of like the direction that the artists, you know, took this.
Yes.
Or is it all different artists? No, it's the same artist.
It's the same artist. It's the same kind of thing as they did for Eldraine, but Wilds of Eldraine. You remember the full art basics in those had light box cutouts. So what this is they physically make these pieces out of cutting wood, and then they take a picture of it.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So
I think it's really neat.
Cool art style on here for sure. For me, it's kind of interesting. I was the opposite way on this one. As an investment, I do hear you on that, because like, damn, yeah, you're right. These are super niche. If you look at it, you got scarcity foils across the whole set. I haven't really ever seen that, where an entire set is a scarcity foil just in and of itself. That's pretty cool. But yeah, no value past the one that does have a little bit there with Guiltleaf Palace. It was an easy skip for me because I was like, I can save $30. I don't play any of these creature types. And so then I'll just, you know, buy the one I want when I need it, if I do. And so that's an interesting perspective. I'm glad that we talked about.
Or you just skip everything, buy 5 city styles.
Yeah, I mean, that's not the worst possible thing to suggest, honestly, but just based on the price memory of that first one. Jake, for you obviously are getting Lorwyn light boxes. Are you going to skip? You're going to get the bundle? Yeah, so we don't have the bundle information yet. They're just the article in here. but there's enough in this entire drop where you're like, yeah, I'm going to get a bundle of everything.
The secret layer products typically do well over time.
Oh yeah.
And as far as trades go, it's a really attractive thing for trades. We also have wild variants in this one with the Hot Wheels cars, with the arcade racers. There's a lot of different looks in here. You also have 3 Legends of the City styles that are all really good, and Karmic Guide, which for me is a Carador card, and one of the ways that I'm able to get. Right. It's a very good card. And you also have stuff like Deflecting SWAT and Murktide Regent in here. So I think it's a very strategic, as always, strategic choices that help motivate people to get these. Shout out to all of our friends that constantly keep buying these because they just can't help it. So if
let us know in the comments if you're the person who's never missed a secret layer drop since the beginning. I want to know. I want to know. There's got to be one of you that watch these that go, I'm obviously buying all of them, but I like Jake and Joel. So I'm going to watch and then be like buying it all, foil bundle, full foil, double bundle. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, Jake, for me, I'm skipping Miku again. I didn't like the last one, and I'm kind of off of those at this point. Aether Drifters is a pickup for me. City Styles 2 is an obvious pickup for me. And then I think I am going to grab the Jesper one just because I really like the Sun Titan, Elf, and SWAT in there. I could take or lead the breaches, but I do like 3 of the 4, and that's normally enough for me. So as far as I'm concerned, solid. It started out kind of crap, but it ended up being a, solid winner super drop like all these are. Very pointed, very strategic.
There will be many more secret layer products in the future. And while we have some crazy Universes Beyond stuff coming up, and I can't imagine what secret layers there are going to be in the future.
Around Spider-Man time, baby, come on.
Yeah, it's going to absolutely happen, and we're going to get a whole bunch of Marvel kind of stuff. And so what we want to say to you is that if you found this video enjoyable, if it stuck out to you in any way, if this is something that you want to come back and watch in the future, subscribe to the channel.
Thanks
We're not
very
going
much.
to tell you to consider it. We're just going to say subscribe. Just come back if you want to keep up with MTG news and all the stuff. We want you to be here. And then also all of these names that you see scrolling, these are our patrons at the $10 level or higher. These are folks that just want to support the channel a little bit more. And we really appreciate all of you, which is why your names are scrolling by. And oh man, what a bunch of attractive names. Joel's holding up some sleeves. We're going to have some fresh sleeves this year as well. Everybody at that $10 level is going to get a sleeve code. We've got a lot of really fun stuff coming this year. And we're going to see you in MagicCon Chicago. We're going to see you in Vegas. We're also going to see you in Atlanta. And before Joel starts showing off his loot again, everybody just leave the video right now. Goodbye.